I've been waiting for this one. Gun control. Who does gun control control? Simple question. What does gun control control? It is called gun control after all. Control, right? It wants to. The idea is to control something, right? But who does gun control control? Doesn't control the government. They're at the position where they want to do what they want, and they're not hiding that right now. It doesn't control the criminals, but because by definition, criminals break the law, right? They take advantage and commit crimes. All right, crime is almost about 99.9% about opportunity, right? The first thing I ask a gun control advocate is, what is their response time? What is their police response time? What is their 911 police response time? I want to know that, right? What is your 911 police response time? If you live in a very nice area where police response time, they don't get bothered, they're not busy, not a lot of crime, police response time is maybe 5-6 minutes versus high crime areas, basically all the major cities, where you have to wait half an hour to an hour if you're lucky for police to respond. By then, you've been criminalized. Killed, raped, robbed, assaulted, attacked, you name it, conned. Police are reactionary. They're not meant to be proactive to petty crime, right? They're police are meant to prevent, to a certain extent, their presence, but when the culture, right, the culture in an area is what sets a tone for that presence. If there's a violent culture, right, that celebrates crime, preserves it, it's going to be a lot of police. Now, when we compare, they make comparisons, right, that don't even make sense. They compare non-comparable populations. Countries not as populated as the United States, right? Norway, probably as populated as Utah, same size, right? Equals to a state. It's never apples to apples comparison. It's always apples to mountain lions. But they sound really, really convincing when they speak in their vernacular, right? They compare homogenous countries, European middle class homogenous countries with lower gun crime rates. It's a silly comparison in an economy as big as ours, with a population as mixed as ours. A lot of these places have more crime, more violent crime, but less gun crime, obviously, because they're less populated and they have less guns in circulation. We're not even the most violent country. We're not the most violent country. We don't have the highest gun crime, right? We have the highest ownership, and as our ownership in guns increases, gun crime diminishes. Makes sense. You look at Vermont, lowest gun crime in the country, probably, right? You figure they have high, strict gun laws. Vermont has basically no gun laws. 3/4 of the population in Vermont own guns. I don't even think you need car insurance there. But they seem to get on fine. Maybe 2 murders a year. Barely any crime there. Now, I don't even have to go to the statistics. We know what happens in Chicago, New York, LA, DC. The list goes on and on. Strict gun laws, higher crime. Why? Crime goes where the opportunity is. And where there's gun control, heavy gun control, that's a unarmed populated area. Opportunity knocks, right? It gives the power to gun control gives power to two people out of the three. There's government, the citizen, the working class citizen, and the criminal. What gun control does is take away the middle guy, right? Exactly. Gives the middle guy the finger, and only the two have the power, leaving the working class to be a victim, as they call it in New York tough, New York survivor, whatever silly. So governments, one of the worst arguments is only cops should have guns. Again, why would you relinquish your power to defend yourself? I don't understand it. Um, it's police aren't designed to do that. It takes away your power. Another one is if we need a license to drive a car, we should have a license to have a gun. Okay, why would you need to ask the state permission to defend your life, the life of your family, or your property? Does that make sense? Why would you need the state's permission? You should have the right to defend your life, right? It violates women's rights, right? Gun rights are women rights. Just like, what was the healthcare? Blah blah is healthcare. Yeah, right. Whatever. Well, gun rights happen in women's rights because when women carry, that equalizes things. They can stop their rapists before it even happens. Even now, when you are unarmed, you are a victim waiting to be victimized. You are armed. You are capable of defending yourself. You are equalized, right? It shouldn't be illegal to defend yourself. Well, in some states like New York and LA, it's kind of illegal to defend yourself. You have anything over a 4-inch blade, illegal. You have a handgun, illegal. You have quote quote assault rifle in your house, illegal. It's fucking ridiculous. The freedom to bear arms does not restrict you from owning assault weapons. First of all, assault weapon is a stupid term. It's not a real thing. These are semi-automatic rifles that they're talking about. They're talking about semi-automatic rifles. You load the chamber, you charge it, shoot, it fires, pull the trigger again, fires, pull the trigger again, fires. Semi-automatic, like a handgun. Any handgun is semi-automatic, unless you got a musket. AR-15s are semi-automatic rifles. These are rifles. They're not assault weapons. Anything is an assault weapon. A fucking hammer is an assault weapon. A van, a truck is an assault weapon, as BLM. Just arguing that the Second Amendment does not cover semi-automatic rifles is disingenuous. You would apply that logic, right? Then the First Amendment within the freedom of press would only cover the printing press. And I'm kind of for that in a way. I'm 100% for the First Amendment, but a lot of misinformation will be cut down if we had a printing press instead of all this technology, right? Tyrannical governments always disarm. So, the government never do this to you. Bro, Vietnam, Germany, China, Japan, and just recently Australia with their buybacks and the COVID lockdowns, COVID was it COVID camps, the concentration camps, like old ladies getting beat down. They tracking their citizens. Like, it's scary shit. China, they're locked up in their fucking apartments, yelling. Some eerie shit going on over there. Why are these people unarmed? The first thing dictators and tyrannical governments do is unarm the populace. That is historically a fact. If the government disarms you, it's because they're going to do something worth shooting them for. All the crime, right, is in gun control cities. Chicago, DC, LA, etc. That's all the crime is. Why? Again, opportunity. I don't know if this is relaying, but we're gonna make it through this. Miseducation is how they try to disarm you, right? Assault guns, machine guns. What I just educated on what you it's just educated you on what an assault rifle is. A machine gun is a fully automatic gun that's already illegal in the United States. Only the armed forces are allowed to have them. So that's just a silly notion. You see them in the movies, and the only other time you'll see them is at war. AR-15 is not a machine gun. It's not an assault rifle, right? Our machine guns are illegal. Guns are tools. Believe it or not, a gun is a tool. Money is a tool. A hammer is a tool. A van is a tool. A SUV is a tool. A knife is a tool, right? A tool can either be useful or dangerous, depending on who's wielding it, right? You can use a gun to stop a robbery, or you can run over a parade with a SUV. Your choice. The wielder chooses whether the tool is useful or dangerous. Local gun crimes are overreported when they fit the media narrative, right? If the shooter fits a certain description and the victim fits a certain description, that local story becomes national, right? Versus gun crimes underreported, like Chicago, where it's the usual status quo, right? It's just people in the same community murdering each other, right? Most murders are within populations are done by the same race, right? So if you live in an area full of your full of the same people as you tend that's what tends to happen, right? So this white on white, black on black, it's all bullshit. That's just the way things are when people tend to commit crimes within their community against the people in their community. So it's less appealing to the public. Doesn't make enough money, but it's happening every day. Versus you seeing crime breaking death rates in New York and Chicago and DC versus once every 3 or 4 months shooting. Guns that stop crime rarely get reported, right? Guns that deter crime don't even get counted. So that's another way of fooling you. So how does gun control affect? Who does gun control affect and how? Do criminals don't obey laws? Therefore, it does not affect them. Again, how we open is how we're going to close this. Law-abiding citizens do obey laws. So guess what? Gun control affects them. When law-abiding citizens comply with gun control, they are no longer capable of defending themselves. They must rely on government. When you when government when you follow gun control, right? You're no longer able to gather yourself to defend yourself against government tyranny now. So if they want to take your land, they take your land. That's a huge thing with gun control. The only way to, in Marxism, right, to become socialist, you must centralize power, centralize property, centralize it. And in order to do that, you must confiscate. by force because no one's willing to give up their stuff. They're not going to give up their land. Ain't nobody that just finished paying off that mortgage or in the middle of paying their mortgage going to willingly give up their land to the government or anyone else. So what happens is that you have to take that property from that transit worker, that garbage man, that grocery store clerk, whoever property it is, you must take it by force. And when you take it by force, you have to disarm the public or they will defend their property. And that's a huge thing. In order to start socialism and then convert it into Marxism, you have to centralize property and power, right? The institutions, schooling, it has to all be centralized. In order to do that, they need an agent, which is usually government, a government representation of the people, and they confiscate and redistribute as the theory goes, because obviously it's failed. There's only two socialist countries, is North Korea and Cuba, officially socialist. Venezuela, kind of socialist, mostly socialist, but the two prime examples would be Cuba and North Korea. Right, the government owns the means of production, and they redistribute the wealth amongst the masses, and that's why everybody's fucking miserable, and they come here.